Your toddler is calm at daycare, sweet with grandma, quiet at the store, maybe even cooperative with other adults. But the moment they are with you, the whining starts, the crying starts, the no starts, the clinging, throwing, refusing, screaming, or collapsing begins. And you wonder, why does my toddler behave worse with me than with everyone else? It can feel personal. It can feel like your child listens to everyone except you. It can even make you think, am I doing something wrong? But here is the truth. A toddler acting worse with a parent does not automatically mean the parent is failing. In many cases, it means the child is still learning how to manage big feelings, impulses, transitions, tiredness, hunger, and frustration. And because you are familiar, your toddler may release more emotion with you than they do with less familiar adults. That does not mean every behavior should be allowed. It does not mean hitting, screaming, or throwing should be ignored, but it does mean we need to understand what is happening underneath the behavior before we decide how to respond. So today, let's look at why toddlers may behave worse with parents, what child development research says about self-control and tantrums, what may be normal, what may deserve attention, and how parents can respond with both warmth and firm limits. Imagine this. You pick your toddler up from daycare. The teacher smiles and says, they had a great day. They listened, they played, they ate snack, they followed the routine. You feel relieved. Then you get to the car. Suddenly your toddler screams because you opened the car door, or because the banana broke, or because you brought the wrong shoes, or because you said, let's go home. And you think, how were they fine all day? And now this. This is one of the most confusing parts of toddler behavior. Parents often see the biggest emotions, the loudest crying, the strongest resistance, the most intense no. And because it happens with you, it can feel like your child is choosing to give you their worst. But toddlers are not tiny adults making a careful plan to disrespect one parent and impress everyone else. They are young children with developing brains. Their behavior changes depending on the setting, the adult, the routine, the time of day, how much sleep they had, whether they are hungry, and how much emotional energy they have left. So before asking, why are they doing this to me? A better question is, what has my toddler been trying to manage all day? Here is the first big idea. A toddler may use a lot of energy trying to cope outside the home. At daycare, preschool, a relative's house, or a public place, your toddler may be working hard. They are following instructions, sharing toys, waiting for turns, listening to adults, handling noise, watching other children, moving through routines, trying to understand what is expected. Even if they look fine, their brain and body may be working hard. Then they come back to you, and suddenly they no longer have the same energy to cope. They are tired. They are hungry. They missed you. They want control. They want comfort. They want everything to feel familiar again. So the emotions come out. This is why many parents say, my child saves their worst behavior for me. But often, what they are saving is not badness. They are saving stress. They are saving tiredness. They are saving frustration. They are saving all the feelings they could not fully express earlier. This does not mean toddlers always behave worse with parents, and it does not mean difficult behavior proves secure attachment. A safer way to say it is toddlers may release more emotion with familiar caregivers because those caregivers are part of the child's comfort and regulation system. To understand this better, we need to look at what is still developing in your toddler's brain. One reason toddlers behave differently with different adults is that their self-control is still developing. Harvard's Center on the Developing Child explains that executive function and self-regulation skills help people manage information, make decisions, control impulses, and plan ahead. These skills are not fully formed at birth. Children develop them gradually through relationships, routines, and practice. That matters because many toddler behaviors require skills that are still under construction. Waiting requires self-control. Leaving the park requires flexibility. Not hitting requires impulse control. Using words instead of screaming requires language and emotional regulation. Stopping an activity requires shifting attention. Following a direction requires memory, attention, and cooperation.
To an adult, put your shoes on sounds simple. To a toddler, it may involve stopping play, accepting a transition, finding the shoes, tolerating how the shoes feel, and doing something they did not choose. That is a lot for a developing brain. So when your toddler knows a rule but still breaks it, it does not always mean they do not understand. A toddler may understand no hitting, no throwing, shoes on, time to go. But understanding a rule is easier than following it when the child is tired, hungry, frustrated, overstimulated, or emotionally flooded. That is why a toddler can say no hitting and then hit 5 seconds later. They may know the rule, but their impulse control is still catching up. Big emotions are also a normal part of toddlerhood. The American Academy of Pediatrics, through Healthy Children, explains that 2-year-olds often don't have much control over their emotional impulses. Their frustration may come out suddenly as crying, hitting, or screaming. That doesn't mean those behaviors are okay. It means they are developmentally understandable.
The CDC also describes toddlerhood as a stage of growing independence, exploration, imitation, and sometimes defiant behavior. So when your toddler says no to everything, melts down over a small change, or refuses a simple task, it may be connected to normal developmental forces. They want independence. They want control. They have big feelings. They have limited patience. They are still learning language. They are still learning how to wait. They are still learning how to handle disappointment. And parents often see these struggles more clearly because parents are there for the hardest moments. Morning rush, getting dressed, leaving the house, pickup, dinner, bath, bedtime. These are not easy moments for toddlers. They are full of transitions, demands, limits, and fatigue. One of the biggest triggers for toddler meltdowns is something adults often underestimate: transitions. A transition means moving from one thing to another, from playing to leaving, from bath to pajamas, from screen time to dinner, from daycare to the car seat, from parents' arms to bed. Adults may see transitions as small. Toddlers often experience them as big. Why? Because transitions usually mean losing control. The child was playing. Now they must stop. The child wanted to walk. Now they must sit in the car seat. The child wanted the blue cup. Now the red cup is already on the table. The child wanted one more book. Now bedtime is happening. So when your toddler melts down with you, pause and ask, is this really about me, or is this about the transition? Often, the parent is not the problem. The transition is the problem. And the parent is simply the person enforcing the transition. That is one reason toddlers may seem more difficult with parents.
Parents often have to be the ones who say, "We have to go. Bath is done. No more cookies. It is bedtime. The tablet is all done. Hands are not for hitting. Those limits are necessary, but toddlers can still have huge feelings about them. Another helpful way to think about this is parents often get the emotional leftovers. Your toddler may use up their coping skills at daycare or around other adults. They follow the group. They watch other children. They try to keep up. They adapt. They hold back some feelings. Then by the time they see you, their emotional battery is low. And when a toddler's battery is low, small problems feel enormous. A snack breaks in half, meltdown. The sock feels wrong, meltdown. You help too much, meltdown. You do not help enough, meltdown. You say, let's go, meltdown. To adults, these triggers can look ridiculous. But to a toddler with an overloaded nervous system, the broken cracker may just be the final drop in a very full cup. The cracker is not the whole problem. It is the moment the feelings spill out. This is why the question is not only, what happened right now? It is also, what has been building up? Now, you may have heard people say, your toddler behaves worse with you because you are their safe space. There is some truth in that idea, but we need to be careful. It can be comforting, but it can also become too simple. Difficult behavior does not automatically prove secure attachment. And being a loving parent does not mean a child should be allowed to hurt others or ignore every limit. A more accurate way to say it is, children often show stronger emotions with familiar caregivers because those caregivers are closely connected to comfort, safety, routine, and emotional support. So, yes, your toddler may fall apart more with you because you are familiar. But that does not mean the behavior has no limits. A child can feel safe with you and still need boundaries. A child can be overwhelmed and still need guidance. A child can be loved and still hear, I won't let you hit. This is the balance toddlers need. Warmth and limits. Connection and structure. Comfort and teaching. When a toddler behaves worse with a parent, it is tempting to react from hurt. A parent might think, they know better. They only do this with me. They are manipulating me. They are doing it for attention. They need to learn who is in charge. But when we see toddler behavior only as disrespect, we often miss the real struggle underneath. That does not mean parents should allow chaos. It means the first job is to understand what is driving the behavior. Try not to lead with, stop crying right now. You are being bad. Why do you only act like this with me? You were fine all day. What is wrong with you? Those phrases usually do not build self-control. They often add more stress to a child who is already overloaded. 0 to 3 explains that a tantrum signals a loss of control. When a toddler is emotionally overwhelmed, the first goal is to help them regain control. Learning comes after they are calm. That is a very important point. A toddler in meltdown mode is usually not ready for a lecture. They need help calming first. Then they can learn. So what should you do in the moment? Start with the body, not the lecture. When your toddler falls apart, the first step is not to explain. The first step is to regulate. Regulate means helping the body and emotions come down. Use a calm voice. Lower your body. Reduce extra talking. Move to a quieter space if needed. Keep your words simple. You might say, you are having a hard time. I'm here. You wanted the blue cup. You are mad we had to leave. I won't let you hit. Simple words work better than long speeches. Imagine your toddler's brain is like a house alarm going off.
You cannot teach fire safety while the alarm is screaming. First, you help turn down the alarm. Then you teach. 0 to 3 also notes that adults help children develop self-control by staying calm when the child loses control. This is not weakness. This is co-regulation. Co-regulation means a young child borrows calm from a steady adult before they can fully create calm on their own. Over time, repeated calm support helps children build their own regulation skills. Once your toddler begins to settle, name what happened. Not with a lecture, just a simple label. You were sad when I left. You were mad because snack was all done. You wanted to keep playing. You did not want the car seat. You missed me. This helps toddlers connect feelings with words. And words matter. The American Academy of Pediatrics notes that tantrums and aggression are common in young children, partly because they are still learning language and how to use words to express feelings. A toddler who can eventually say mad, help, stop, more, mine, or hug has more tools than a toddler who only knows how to scream, hit, or collapse. Naming feelings does not spoil a child. It teaches them. It says, this feeling has a name. This feeling is not dangerous. This feeling can be handled. And remember, naming the feeling is not the same as giving in. You can say, you are mad. You wanted more cookies. Cookies are all done. That is empathy plus a boundary. This is where many parents worry. They think, if I comfort my child during difficult behavior, am I rewarding it? The answer depends on what you do. Comforting a child's feelings is not the same as allowing unsafe or harmful behavior. You can be kind and firm.
For example, I know you are angry. I will not let you hit. You want to stay at the park. It is time to go. You are sad. I will help you to the car. You want the tablet. The tablet is all done. The boundary stays. The child is allowed to have feelings about the boundary. That is a huge part of toddler development. They are learning. I can feel mad and still be safe. I can want something and not get it. I can cry and my parent will stay steady. I cannot hit, but I can ask for help. This is not permissive parenting. This is emotional teaching with limits. One thing that can reduce power struggles is giving small, real choices. Not unlimited choices. Not fake choices. Small choices. For example, red cup or blue cup? Walk to the car or be carried? Pajamas first or teeth first? Do you want to hold the book or the blanket? Healthy Children suggests that during tantrums, giving children small amounts of control through limited choices can sometimes help. This works because toddlers are trying to build independence. They want some control over their world. When adults provide safe choices, the child gets a little autonomy without taking over the whole situation. But the parent still holds the main boundary. For example, we are leaving the park. Do you want to hop to the gate or hold my hand? The choice is how to leave, not whether to leave. That is the difference. After a toddler meltdown, many parents want to move on quickly. That is understandable. But a small moment of reconnection can help. You do not need a big speech. You can say, that was hard. We got through it. I love you, even when you are mad. Next time, you can say help or hug. Let's try again. This helps the child understand that conflict does not break the relationship. For toddlers, this matters deeply. They are still learning that big feelings come and go. They are still learning that parents can set limits and remain loving.
They are still learning that making a mistake does not make them bad. A strong parent-child relationship does not mean a child never melts down. It means the child has a safe place to recover, repair, and learn. Now, let's answer another common question. Why does my toddler listen better to everyone else? There are several possible reasons. First, novelty. A teacher, grandparent, or babysitter may feel different and interesting. Toddlers sometimes pay more attention in less familiar situations because the situation itself is new. Second, structure. Daycare and preschool often have predictable routines. Snack time, circle time, outdoor time, cleanup song, nap time. When children know exactly what happens next, behavior may look easier. Third, peer influence. Toddlers often copy other children. If everyone is lining up, your child may line up too. Fourth, emotional restraint. Your toddler may not feel comfortable fully melting down with another adult, so they hold it in. Then they release it later. Fifth, timing. Other adults may see your child during a better part of the day. Parents often see the tired, hungry, overstimulated part. So it is not always that other adults are better at handling your child. They may simply be seeing a different version of your child in a different context. If your toddler often falls apart after daycare, preschool, or time away from you, try building a decompression routine. Keep pickup simple. Do not ask too many questions right away. A toddler may not have the words or emotional energy to answer. What did you do today? Who did you play with? Did you eat lunch? Why are you upset? Instead, try, I'm happy to see you. You worked hard today. Snack is in the car. We're going home. Offer connection before correction when possible. Some toddlers need a hug. Some need quiet. Some need food. Some need movement. Some need a few minutes before talking. Think of pickup as emotional landing time. Your child is shifting from one world back into another. That transition needs softness and predictability. A simple routine could be greet warmly, offer snack or water, keep talking low, avoid extra errands when possible, give a predictable next step, allow quiet time at home. This will not prevent every meltdown, but it can reduce the pressure. Here is a simple script for the next time your toddler falls apart with you. First, name what you see. You are crying. This is hard. Then name the limit. I won't let you throw. Then offer a safe option. You can stomp your feet. You can squeeze this toy. You can say mad. You can come for a hug. Then repeat the boundary. The toy stays on the table. The car seat is happening. Cookies are all done. Then reconnect. I'm here. We'll get through it. That is it. Not perfect, not magical, but steady. And toddlers learn through steady repetition. Now, let's talk about what may be normal. Many toddler behaviors can be normal, especially when they happen during tiredness, hunger, transitions, overstimulation, separation, or frustration. It may be normal for toddlers to cry harder with parents, to become clingy after separation, to refuse simple tasks, to melt down after daycare, to say no often, to struggle with sharing, to have big feelings over small things, to need help calming down, to show more emotion at home than in public. Again, normal does not mean easy. And normal does not mean parents ignore it. It means the behavior may fit toddler development while still needing calm guidance. But some patterns deserve more support.
consider speaking with a pediatrician, child psychologist, early childhood specialist, or another qualified professional if the behavior is very intense, very frequent, or getting worse.
If your child is hurting themselves, other children, adults, or animals, if meltdowns last a very long time and recovery is rare, if your child loses language, social skills, or abilities they previously had, if your child seems anxious, withdrawn, or distressed most of the time, if aggression happens across many settings, if sleep, feeding, language, hearing, or development also seem concerning, or if you feel unable to keep your child or others safe, asking for support does not mean you failed. It means you are taking your child's needs seriously. And now, let's talk about something parents often do not say out loud. It hurts when your child behaves worse with you. It can feel embarrassing. You pick them up from daycare and everyone says they had a great day. Then your child screams all the way to the car. You visit family and your toddler is sweet with everyone else. Then they hit you, cling to you, or refuse everything you say. It can make you feel like the safe person and the punching bag at the same time. So parents need support too. A calm response does not mean you never feel frustrated. It means you notice your own feelings before they take over.
You might silently remind yourself, this is not personal. My child is overloaded. I can be kind and firm. I do not have to fix this instantly. I can hold the boundary without becoming harsh. Sometimes the most powerful parenting skill is the pause before reacting. So, why do toddlers behave worse with their parents? Usually, it is not one single reason. It may be because they are tired, because they are hungry, because they are overstimulated, because transitions are hard, because they are still learning self-control, because they missed you, because you are familiar, because you are the person guiding them through limits, because home is where they stop holding it together.
And because toddler brains are still building the skills adults sometimes expect them to already have, the behavior may be loud, but underneath, there is often a message. I need help. I missed you. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know how to stop. I want control. I need connection. I need a boundary I can trust. When we listen for the message under the behavior, we respond differently. Not weakly, not permissively, but wisely. So the next time your toddler behaves beautifully for someone else and then falls apart with you, take a breath. It does not automatically mean you are doing something wrong. It does not mean your child is bad. It does not mean you have no boundaries. It may mean your toddler has reached the end of their coping skills, and you are the person close enough to see the messy feelings. Your job is not to stop every big feeling. Your job is to guide your child through those feelings safely, with warmth, with limits, with patience, and with the reminder that emotional regulation is not learned in one perfect moment. It is built slowly through hundreds of messy, loving, ordinary moments. Because your toddler is not giving you their worst because they do not love you. They may be showing you their hardest feelings because you are home. If this helped you understand your toddler a little differently, subscribe for more calm, science-backed videos about toddler behavior, emotions, and development. And in the comments, share this. When does your toddler behave worse? After daycare, before bedtime, or during transitions? Your answer may help another parent feel less alone.